What does it mean to live with unshakable faith? What does it mean to walk through a world filled with distractions, temptations, and noise, and still hold on to your values, your integrity, your belief in something greater than yourself? This is not just the story of an Oscar-winning actor. This is the story of a man who refused to let fame define him, a man who rose from humble beginnings, faced rejection, temptation, and doubt, and still chose purpose over popularity. This is the life of Denzel Washington, the man who taught the world that discipline is destiny, faith is strength, and humility is freedom. Everyone wants to rise, but few want to climb. We scroll, compare, envy, and expect results without patience, purpose without process. We look at people like Denzel and think he was born talented, but what we don't see are the sleepless nights, the near failures, the constant self-doubt, and the unwavering faith that shaped him. Most of us want a life of glory, but Denzel reminds us that glory means nothing if your soul is lost along the way. This isn't about acting, it's about living. It's about walking your path with courage, even when you're scared, and trusting that when you fall, grace will lift you. Lesson 1. Faith is the foundation. Before Denzel was a movie star, he was a lost young man. Growing up in Mount Vernon, New York, he was surrounded by chaos, friends who ended up in prison, others who never made it out of the streets. He once said, "When I was 20 years old, I was flunking out of college. I had no direction." But his mother, a praying woman, believed in him when no one else did. She once told him, "Son, you can't play with God and expect to win." One day, a stranger in his mother's beauty salon looked at him and said something that changed his life. "Young man, you are going to travel the world and speak to millions." That was prophecy, and Denzel carried those words in his soul. Faith became his compass. Every major decision he's ever made, from career moves to charitable work, began with prayer. Takeaway: never underestimate the power of faith. Even when you can't see the whole path, trust the one who guides your steps. Lesson 2. Discipline builds destiny. Denzel's success was not an accident. It was discipline in motion. In Hollywood, where shortcuts and ego rule, he stayed grounded in hard work. He prepared for every role like it was his last. He memorized entire scripts, studied body language, and practiced lines for hours until they became truth. He once said, "Without commitment, you'll never start. But more importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish." He reminds us that talent is a gift, but discipline is a choice, and that choice determines your destiny. He woke up early, trained, studied, prayed, and worked every single day, even when nobody was watching. Takeaway: don't pray for success. Prepare for it. Discipline is the bridge between your vision and your victory. Lesson 3. Purpose over popularity. In the spotlight, fame can be a trap. It blinds you with applause until you forget who you are. Denzel never played that game. He refused to chase roles that glorified darkness or degraded his values. He chose scripts that carried meaning, roles that reflected the struggle between right and wrong, faith and fear, pride and purpose. He turned down multi-million-dollar opportunities because they didn't align with his moral compass. He once said, "Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship." He didn't want to be comfortable. He wanted to be convicted. And that's what made his art timeless. Takeaway: don't trade your integrity for attention. If you have to lose yourself to win, it's not worth the prize. Lesson 4. Stay grounded. In gratitude, Denzel may walk red carpet, but he lives like a man who still remembers the small church benches of his youth. Despite fame, he remains humble. He tithes. He volunteers. He mentors. He once told a group of young graduates, "Put God first in everything you do. Everything that I have is by the grace of God." His morning routine isn't about emails or phone calls. It begins with prayer. and the Bible. He believes gratitude keeps your heart soft in a hard world. Takeaway: gratitude keeps success from becoming pride. The higher you rise, the deeper your humility must grow. Lesson 5. Turn rejection into redirection. Before Denzel was celebrated, he was rejected again and again. He auditioned for roles he never got. He was told his style was too intense, his look too serious, his delivery too strong. But every no pushed him toward the right yes. Every door that closed prepared him for the one that would open. He said once, sometimes you have to get knocked down before you can truly figure out what your fight is. When the world said, you're not enough, Denzel answered with excellence. Takeaway: rejection is not failure, it's direction. What's meant for you will always find its way to you, but only if you keep moving. Lesson 6. Serve others, not just yourself. Denzel believes that true success is not what you achieve, it's what you give. He has donated millions to educational programs, scholarships, and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America, where he was once a kid learning to dream. He visits students, encourages them, reminds them they are capable of greatness. He said, at the end of the day, it's not about what you have, or even what you've accomplished. It's about who you've lifted up, who you've made better. Service keeps your spirit alive. It turns achievement into legacy. Now I see. Takeaway: you can't keep what you don't give away. Lift others as you climb. Lesson 7. Keep faith in the fire even with his success. Denzel faced storms, personal losses, professional setbacks, public criticism, but he never let those moments shake his belief. He said once, when you pray for rain, you have to deal with the mud, too. Faith doesn't remove challenges, it gives you the strength to endure them. Denzel stood tall through trials, not because he never felt fear, but because he never let fear lead. He knows that every blessing carries a burden, and every dream demands discipline. Takeaway: keep faith even in the fire. The struggle isn't proof of God's absence, it's proof of your growth. Lesson 8. Humility is power. Hollywood often feeds the ego, but Denzel mastered humility. He listens more than he speaks. He treats everyone on set, from directors to janitors, with equal respect. He says, I don't care how much money you make. If you don't treat people right, you don't have anything. There's strength in staying grounded. Humility keeps you human when the world tries to turn you into an image. Takeaway: stay humble enough to learn, strong enough to lead, and wise enough to listen. He often says, don't just aspire to make a living. Aspire to make a difference. He uses his platform not to boast, but to build. In his speeches, he reminds people that failure is part of the journey and that God's timing is never wrong. He encourages people to speak blessings into their lives, to call good things into existence. Takeaway: watch your words. Speak hope when others speak doubt. Your mouth can either build your future or break your faith. He cares about legacy, what he leaves behind in people's hearts. He said, you'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. You can't take it with you. His legacy isn't his awards. It's the lives he's touched, the souls he's inspired, and the faith he's ignited in millions. He reminds us that the true measure of a man is not how he starts, but how he finishes. Takeaway: live so that when you're gone, people feel your love, not just remember your name. The higher calling, the battle of life, isn't about fame, fortune, or even success. It's about staying faithful in a world that tests your soul every day. Denzel's story is the story of a man who learned to walk by faith, not by sight, who learned that real power is in surrender, not control. He turned every trial into testimony, every failure into a step toward grace. He showed us that it's possible to be powerful and humble, bold and kind, famous and faithful, all at once. He once said, "Fall forward. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success." That's not just a quote, it's a map for life. That faith without works is empty. That dreams without discipline are delusion. That fame fades, but purpose endures. He teaches us to pray hard, work harder, and give endlessly, to be kind when it's hard, grateful when it's easy, and faithful when it's dark. Because at the end of the day, your light doesn't shine through perfection. It shines through perseverance. So keep going. Keep believing. Keep the faith. Because your story isn't over. It's only beginning. If Denzel Washington's story inspired you, share this message with someone who needs to hear it. Because no matter how far you've fallen, you can still rise. With faith, with focus, and with purpose.